think with that, we'll just go ahead and get started. We're going to start with quarterbacks. And the way we're going to do this is we all kind of ranked it on our own before stream. And we're going to kind of say who the next person would be for us, but then kind of put this list together as like kind of a joint rankings between the three of us. Yeah. And I was thinking maybe we can publish these after, like put them in the Discord or something, our joint list.
Yeah.
All right. So we'll start with quarterbacks. I think it's pretty obvious the first name we're going to throw here. It's got to be Josh Allen, S tier. I had Hurts in S tier with him. What do you guys think of that?
I like it.
Yeah, I like it as well. I think that Josh Allen's your clear-cut one. I don't even hate putting Josh Allen in his own tier list, just because it feels like he does everything. Mm-hmm. Whereas Jalen Hurts has had maybe one dud week or a couple weeks where he's not giving you quite the output that you want. But I'm fine putting him there. His rushing, his touchdown upside is just too good to ignore. So I'm fine with him in the S tier.
He hasn't even been rushing that much this year either, which is kind of concerning. Not really, but that just leaves more upside, in my opinion.
All right. Yeah. All right. So the next name, when we were talking about quarterbacks on stream yesterday, I said Lamar, and everything wanted me to say Lamar. But when I dove more into the numbers and did some thinking, I have an aggressive QB3, and that's Patrick Mahomes rest of the season.
Wow. I don't have it. I don't hate it. I have him at my QB5 behind Jaden Daniels and Lamar, but I can get behind it. What's good, Mando?
Yeah, I had Mahomes, Daniels, Lamar as my next tier.
Is he rushing a lot this year? Is that why? Not really, but a little more than average.
Mahomes?
Yeah.
He's technically on pace for 1,000 rush yards this year.
Yes, dude.
Leads the Chiefs in rushing, which typically we've seen that from him in the playoffs. Like when his team really needs him to run, he's been running his whole career. But in the regular season, he's never really had that production. And I think it's been definitely a huge development for his fantasy, like week to week floor. And along with that, he's been actually aggressive downfield, taking deep shots, which is just something we really haven't seen with the Chiefs these last couple of years. When they're trying out guys like Justin Watson every snap. Now they got Tyquan Thornton, Xavier Worthy, Hollywood Brown. They got a lot of speed. And once Rashee Rice gets back, that's their true wide receiver one. I'm just bullish on the Chiefs offense overall, I think, rest of the season.
Yeah. Aside from that Rashee Rice comment, I agree with your take.
I don't know what your issue with Rashee Rice is, but when he's scoring 15 fantasy points a game, I'm victory lapping you.
Oh, but I love the Mahomes take.
Yeah.
Over Jaden Daniels, it's a little hard it's just hard to always consider a pocket passer perceived guy like Mahomes as a better fantasy guy than a Jaden Daniels or Lamar who's going to pick up 100 rushing yards. You could always tell yourself that story.
Yeah. I think that for me, I generally agree with all these rankings. The only flips that I have here are Lamar is in my S tier, Jalen Hurts is in my A tier. And then so my S tier is Josh Allen, Lamar, and then my A tier is Jalen Hurts, Jaden Daniels by themselves, and then Patrick Mahomes is at the top of B for me. Don't get me wrong, I think that Patrick Mahomes can definitely make his way into A tier, but we haven't seen him quite do that the past couple years, and I know that it's looking great for him right now. But he does have 3 rushing touchdowns so far in these first 5 weeks. I don't know if he's really going to average, 0.6 rushing touchdowns a game. If he does, great. The rushing does seem to be there, and he's slinging it this year. So I'm fine with him being an A, but that's the only differences that I have.
Yeah.
I think our top 5s are generally the same.
Mm-hmm. I think it's clear that these top 5 are the 5 you want to have at quarterback.
I think Mahomes has shown in the past, not these past 2 years with a beat up receiver core and, whatever drama is going on with the Chiefs receivers and Pacheco as an RB1 once again. But 4 years ago, he showed he was QB 1, 2, 3.
Yeah. I mean, he is Patrick Mahomes. obviously very good. I saw this funny thing about Patrick Mahomes.
Agreed, yeah.
That was pretty funny. It said, I actually don't know how fast Patrick Mahomes is, like, but he's just always faster than the guy who's chasing him.
That's so
And it said
funny
his
too,
stat,
bro.
his speed is X+1.
That's pretty funny.
No,
there's a-
so accurate. Like, he never looks that fast, but he's just running away from guys. Like, it's just he's fast enough.
Yeah. I think he said that in an interview too. Like somebody
Yeah.
asked him, somebody was asking him like, who's faster, like you or Speed? And it's like, oh, I don't know, but I'm as fast as I need to be. And they're like,
Yeah.
oh, how fast are you? And he's like, just faster than the guys chasing me. It's like, all right.
It's so accurate though. Like, yeah.
Yeah.
Hate the guy, but like starting him in fantasy.
Right.
All right. So next, are we all good on like these 5?
Yeah.
I'm fine to throw Lamar in S. I had him in A just because he's not playing right now, and also like because of how bad the Ravens have been. Like, who knows if this is just like a throw it in year for them. But if Lamar does come back, I can definitely see him like just being Lamar Jackson. And because that defense is so bad, he's going to be in a lot of like high scoring games probably. So I could definitely see Lamar smashing when he gets back. I think he's a good buy right now if you can afford it.
Yep. I agree.
Yeah, I'm fine
You're
putting him in S.
You're gonna miss him 1 week. He would have had the bye anyway. I think most people are assuming he's gonna be back week 8. And if he just hops back into form, then I think he's definitely an S tier. If the Ravens just look like crap, then probably A, maybe even B. But
Yeah,
I like S.
Oh,
All
okay.
right. So
Who's, who's starting the next tier for you?
So the next guy I had is Dak Prescott here.
And then who?
And then after Dak, do you want me to just list
Baker.
out the whole tier I had?
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. So I had Dak.
Because I think it'll be
Baker.
close.
This one actually surprised me when I was going through, but as long as he still has a starting job, I had Justin Fields here, and then I had Herbert next, and that's
Okay.
my next tier.
I don't hate it. I think we should just do tiers, or else I'm gonna like nitpick everyone because I had Baker before Dak, like by
Mhm.
1 pick. But I like
Yeah.
the tier. I
Baker,
don't really
Dak-
like Fields. I really don't. I know he's getting you there by rushing and just force feeding Garrett Wilson. I hate the player, I think, and it kind of blinds me. So for me, I'd put him in C tier just because the inherent risk of the worst rated QB starting in the NFL on one of the worst offenses. Like, there's just like, I don't know if you guys have seen that graphic yet that shows like all of the worst stats they lead the NFL in, but it's not good. It's not pretty. So I don't like him there. I think I'd like Matthew Stafford there. I ranked Matthew Stafford very high because I think we're projecting Puka for a record-breaking year, like a Calvin Johnson, Cooper Kupp, like 1,900 yards, 1,700-yard year, with Devontae Adams as another 1,000-yard receiver. Like, you have to project Matthew Stafford as a top 10 QB, which he's performing as right now. It's not me talking crazy. Too crazy, anyways. But that's my only problem with the tier. I like everything else, especially Herbert. I think they're going to be forced to throw.
Yeah, I think the only difference for me here, I've got Dak and Baker in this tier. I think that they're both super strong candidates. Baker just looks like amazing. The only difference for me is that I do have Drake May in this tier. I know that
that bottom and next one.
I know that he's not, he's coming off kind of not the greatest week, but I still do feel like he's got a decent amount of rushing upside. He's been pretty efficient. I like Drake May. I've seen a lot of other people being pretty high on him. But that's the only thing, him being at the top of C or in the middle of C is kind of okay. I feel like there isn't, I think that the difference between SA and B, like S/A and B is like greater than the difference between B and C. Like, I feel like B and C are similar realms. So I'm okay with Drake being in C.
Yeah. I think with the Drake May stuff, I would argue, so kind of like S tiers guys that like S and A, you're not even thinking about starting these guys every week, right? Like you're probably not rostering another quarterback if you have these 5 guys. B tiers, like I would say I'm starting these guys pretty much every week. Like unless I have like someone on my bench that just has a super strong matchup or something like that. Like rare case, I'm not starting these guys. Everyone in C tiers kind of I was viewing as like as someone you would want to approach week to week. Like he's not locked and loaded in your quarterback 1 spot every week. And that's kind of how I'm viewing Drake May right now. Don't get me wrong. I love the talent. I love what he's flashed, but his fantasy production, like
It's
still
not there yet.
Yeah, it's coming,
But
but
there's
it's
rushing
not,
upside too with Drake May that I like.
there is, but it's like him getting there this year is like 25 points per game. Fields, you may not like it. It doesn't look pretty, but he scored 30 points in 3 of the 4 games he started this year. That's why I have him where I have him. So I just think like with Fields' ceiling, you got to put him the tier above. May, I still like rostering him, but like I said, I think he's just slightly off the tier below. Like when I'll get into the names of the other tier, I kind of view him similarly how I'm viewing May rest of the season. In Dynasty, though, if you can buy Drake May for a discount, or not for a discount, but like for a relatively cheap price, and you're getting a potential like perennial top 10 quarterback, hell yeah, sign me up.
Yeah, I'm okay with this, what we have here.
Okay. So also in that tier with Drake May, this is who I had. I had Caleb Williams. I had Daniel Jones. I had Jared Goff. And I had Kyler Murray. Oh, and I also had Bo Nix too. I kind of view all these guys the same in fantasy right now.
I'm not understanding the Stafford disrespect right now. I'm really not. Genuinely, I'm not. I'm being so serious. I don't know how we cannot rank a quarterback who's producing 2 top 12 receivers not in the top 10.
Let me ask Anthony this
And
question.
Stafford, he's got there for fantasy the last 2 weeks, but look at what he did the first 3 weeks prior.
He's still
And look at
getting
his
there.
historic game logs. Like he's not someone you
If
feel
Joe
great
Burrow
about
could
starting.
get you there, bro, I don't see how Matthew Stafford can't.
What do you think
And
that? Let me ask
17
Anthony
points
this
not
question.
getting you there is questionable take right there. A lot of quarterbacks haven't even scored. Michael Penix has only scored that like once.
Michael Penix isn't in this tier.
Mhm.
All right, Dale, what's your
Yeah,
question?
yeah. What do you like about Dak that you do not like about Matthew Stafford? Because for me, obviously Dak's like, a little bit younger, maybe he's a little bit better, but they feel pretty similar to me.
With Dak, I'm just a little higher on like his game script and how like it's gonna play out every week. With Stafford, I feel like the Rams team is just a lot better overall, and I feel pretty good about the Rams defense week to week. Like I don't think it's much of a room for concern. Well, I think the Cowboys literally have the worst defense in the NFL. So for the Cowboys to keep up with teams, like they're gonna have to just play in shootouts every week. And Dak's been smashing in those environments, and he's gonna be even better once he gets CeeDee Lamb back. I mean, you look at Dak's numbers this year; he's gone over 30 points 2 times. He's dropped 28 another time, and he had bad week against Philly week 1. But if you were watching that game, like that wasn't on Dak. Like he was playing phenomenally that game. Just didn't get there for fantasy. And then against the Bears, where he lost CeeDee Lamb mid-game. While Stafford, on the other hand, like I said, I feel pretty good about the Rams defense, and he scored 30 points the last 2 weeks. But those are like pretty good game environments, right? He's playing Indianapolis, who's just gone to a shootout there. Indy's looking like another one of the top offenses in the NFL to this point. And then divisional game against the Niners where he just balled. And then you look at the 3 weeks prior where it's more of like a kind of neutral game script. It's pedestrian performance, right? It's like 16 points, 20 points, 17, which is just like very replaceable level quarterback numbers. And I think that like with Stafford as well, like the Rams have showed they like to give Kyron the ball in the red zone. They like to score a lot of rushing touchdowns. So I think Dak's overall like touchdowns are going to be higher at the end of the season, along with yards. So that's kind of my reasoning behind the Dak take.
So what's the difference between Goff and Stafford? I just can't see how you're not putting Stafford in C right now. This is like disrespectful to me. This is like irritating take right now. I can't get behind this take.
Goff's similar to Stafford. I can throw. I'm not saying I don't want to throw Stafford in this tier. Like I can hear the argument.
I'm like disappointed right now with this Stafford disrespect.
But he's C tier. Like he's not. Like I, as someone who rosters, like this is nothing personal against Matthew Stafford. Like I roster him in multiple leagues. Don't get me wrong, but like he's not someone that's just like locked and loaded. I'm starting him every week. Like Dak Prescott, starting him every week. Matthew Stafford, matchup dependent.
I think that's fair. I'm looking at Matthew Stafford's stats right now. I guess the other thing that you can say is probably not going to continue, I mean, I would assume at least, is he does have 3 rushing touchdowns in the first 5 weeks. I don't think that Matthew Stafford is going to be a guy that's getting you rushing touchdowns on a consistent basis. So maybe that's, some points that you lose a little bit. But I totally understand where Yash is coming from, where, Matthew Stafford has the wide
put him
receiver
above
one
Bo
in his
Nix
pocket.
too, bro. I can't like.
I mean, Bo Nix has rushing upside though, and has been producing for fantasy. Like
Bo Nix is not playing like a good real life quarterback though.
But we don't care about that. We care about playing.
So we pick and choose when we care about that. When it's Dak Prescott week 1 against the Eagles and Dak Prescott has a bad game, it doesn't matter because he's a good real life QB. But you can't pick and choose when to apply the process. You can't pick and choose.
The saying Dak had a good week 1 isn't excusing the fan. It's just saying that I'm not worried about the fantasy performance because I'm seeing the real life production. With Bo Nix, he's playing bad and he's getting there for fantasy.
Takeaway here, I would buy Matthew Stafford. If people are this low on Matthew Stafford because he's a pocket QB and people have the idea that pocket passers cannot be good in fantasy football anymore, I would go buy Matthew Stafford and I would put him as like a secondary piece in like a receiver deal. I would be sneaky about it. I would be like, oh, just throw in Matthew Stafford too. And you'll start him probably 8 weeks.
Dale, what was your question?
I want to correct what I said earlier. Matthew Stafford has 0 rushing touchdowns this season. I was looking at the wrong person.
I was like, damn,
I was like, damn, bro.
So miscommunication
that's
there.
backing up my take.
Either way, I was like, that's still like 24 instead of 30 fantasy points or whatever you put up last week.
So let me ask Yash this: if you have control over this ranking here, where are you putting Matthew Stafford?
Let me tell you exactly where I have him. This is my ranking. It's Josh Allen, Jalen Hurts, Jaden Daniels, Lamar Jackson, Patrick Mahomes, Baker Mayfield, Dak Prescott, Matthew Stafford, Caleb Williams, Daniel Jones, Justin Herbert, Drake May.
Okay. Yeah.
So you have Stafford over Justin Herbert?
He's got him over Herbert and Fields.
It's just because the offense for the Chargers is kind of shaky right now. And I could see the pressure getting to Herbert and him just – I don't know. I feel like that might be a mistake having Stafford over Herbert. I could see that because they're basically the same situation and how they're going to get there in fantasy.
Herbert's got a little bit of rushing upside, I'd say, too.
Mm-hmm. And they're probably going to need him to run more.
So I could see that being a bad take, but – I have Matthew Stafford in my top 10. You can't expect
Matthew Stafford outscores Fields the rest of the season.
Yeah, I mean, Justin Fields has had a couple of really bad games. If I'm not,
he's had a really bad real life games, but in fantasy, he scored of his 4 starts. He scored 30 points. 3 of those.
That
games.
one he has a dud. It's when he got injured, right?
I think the thing for me with this list of B tier players is that I could see any one of those guys being like a top 5 QB, like not much higher than 5, but I could see Dak ending 5th. I could see Baker ending 5th. I could see Fields and Herbert all ending 5th.
I think I could those guys.
I could see Stafford ending 7th.
Yeah, I can see all these as an 8.
That's where
the 8. I don't think Stafford's cracking the 5, bro. That's why we have the 5 up there.
Right.
But I think you guys are a little too low on Stafford.
Maybe I am.
I think the chat loves Stafford too. Why am I getting spammed right now? I'm getting spammed by family. I'll be back.
Yeah, I mean, the chat does love Stafford. He is slinging it. So, if you want to stick him at the top of C, if you want to stick him at the bottom of B, I'm not gonna like flame you for it. But
Yeah.
I think that I'm just, me and Ant might just be a little bit lower on Stafford than the average Joe. But he's doing good. Like if Stafford's the guy that you're starting at QB right now, I think you've been decently happy. So I'm not going to throw too much shade on him.
All right. I want to shout some other guys that we didn't include in that tier that are just kind of worth considering. So I'd say maybe this next year would kind of be like Jordan Love, Trevor Lawrence, Darnold probably ahead of Trevor Lawrence, Purdy in there too maybe. And I think these are just kind of the guys that more in like, I guess Stroud in there too maybe.
Yeah, I think we need to see some more from Stroud, but he looked pretty good this week. I mean, he did play against a crap Ravens team.
I think I might put Darnold at the top of this, and I could even see an argument for Darnold C tier, to be honest, with what his production has been recently. I think we might be sleeping on him a little bit, to be honest. Josh, what do you think about that? Yes, it's Sammy Darnold.
I like Sammy D. I think I feel like there's a lot of quarterbacks here who get there the same way. And Jared Goff, Matthew Stafford, Sam Darnold, Jordan Love, and CJ Stroud, and Brock Purdy. They all, damn near the entire D tier, Matthew Stafford, Jared Goff, they all get there the same way, I feel like. They're all just little –
yeah.
You need to hope their good running back doesn't get 3 touchdowns.
Yeah.
I
think it's really my big takeaway from this is you really want to be here. You really want to be in these top 2 tiers. It
really plateaus.
Yeah. And when you're here, it's just like pick
those
2
are
of
like
these guys and
guys,
pick which
bro.
one.
Yeah. I would say everyone in C tier is a buy low. Maybe not Bo Nix. All right. I don't like buying real life bad players personally. It's just never a feel good feeling.
All right, so I think that's it for quarterbacks. If anyone in the chat has any questions about some quarterbacks,
starting Darnold over Herbert.
Let's answer a few questions while you set up the next tier list.
All right.
I'm happy people will support me if I Stafford crash out. The only one we really didn't answer in the chat was
Hubbard for DeAndre Swift. What do you think about that?
Oh, I was going to say, if I was to get Breece at RB, what would you give up to get him? Monty, Henderson, Rashad White, or Marks? I would do like Monty and like Woody Marks or something. Or like Monty and Rashad White.
Let me see. Where is that question? Oh, if I was to get Breece, what RB would you give up? Monty, Henderson, Rashad White, Marks. Yeah, I mean, honestly, I'm giving up any 2 of those guys to get Breece, if I'm being honest.
And Monty's probably the only way it's going to get through.
Like, if you have to give up Monty and Henderson to get Breece, I'm doing it. I think that the rest of those guys are, not gonna quite do it for you, or at least for the other person.
Are ranking running backs now. You guys will see how aggressively high I am on Breece.
Hubbard for DeAndre Swift. I guess right now, maybe DeAndre Swift is a little bit higher, as much as I hate to say it. Just because we don't really know what's going to happen with the Panthers backfield once.
Dude, try to like buy like JCM or just buy someone else. Like don't buy a guy who also has an insecure job, moving off of a guy with an insecure job. You're just going to be in the same situation with an uglier name.
I had those guys. We'll get to it, but I have those guys same tier.
Yeah, just like the ugly tier.
All right, let's go ahead and get started with this. I think we all kind of, I'm assuming, rank this pretty similarly at the top. It's got to be JT in the S tier. And I have CMC in there as well.
Yep.
I had that as the tier itself. And then I had 3 more guys in A tier. Do you guys think that anyone else is a S tier argument?
For me, S tier was, I have Bijan and Gibbs in there. I kind of feel like those top 4 guys are just, any way you want it, I'm not gonna rip into you if you've got Gibbs as your RB1 rest of season. Like, I'm not gonna flame you. Like, I think that he's, easily in that kind of conversation. Like, I think you can make the argument for any of those guys.
I can't see Gibbs as RB1 unless something happens to him.
I
could see him as like 2 to 3 or 4, but I can't see 1.
I had A-Chain in that tier with these. I think these 5 are like the clear-cut top 5, I would say, in my opinion. And I think actually thinking more through it, I think this is how I would do it. Have Bijan and S, and then I think I'd have Gibbs and A-Chain kind of in a tier for their own. Just because I have a little more concerns about Gibbs and A-Chain than the guys in the top 3. With Gibbs, it's obviously like the split backfield concern. And just that he's not the most, like, he can give you boom weeks. And he's very, very talented player, but like just because of how the Lions run their offense, like they spread the ball around a lot. Like every week, it seems like 2 different guys are getting there, and it's just like a matter of which guys they are, So I'd say like that kind of hurts Gibbs's floor a little bit when compared to Bijan. Every single week the Falcons are going to give him the ball 20 times a game, and you can't always say that about Gibbs. Same with CMC Taylor.
I guess that's true.
My argument there, and then with A-Chain, obviously the offensive concerns are the issue there.
Mm-hmm. Right. Yeah, I would generally agree. So is Cook not in this A tier for you?
No, I have Cook in the next tier, which I have 4 guys in that next tier.
Okay.
Do you want to get to that?
Sure. I mean, I'll just say what my S and A was. Yeah. So my S, I just mentioned it, but Bijan, CMC, JT, Gibbs are my kind of top 4 guys. In the tier below, I have, like, together in no particular order, Achane, Cook, Barkley, Jacobs is kind of what I have there. But go ahead and throw yours out, and we'll talk about it.
Okay. So next in this tier, I had scanning for the name. I had Josh Jacobs, wherever he is, right there. And then I had Saquon Barkley, where's Saquon?
In the middle.
Got it. I had Saquon, I had James Cook, and I had an ugly one, but I had Javonte Williams in that same tier.
Okay.
What do you guys think about that?
I'll let you go, Yash.
I think you are basically in line with me right now. I mean, I have JT and CMC in their own tier. But I see Bijan in the same tier. I don't really hate it. Jahmyr, Gibbs, and Achane in the same tier. I don't really hate. Cook, Williams, Barkley, and Jacobs. I have Williams and Cook above Barkley and Jacobs right now.
Okay.
I actually have them a tier up on my thing. I mean, my tiers are all like 3 players though until like the very end. Gotcha. I think it's very specific for running backs. Like you can really feel tier differences. I feel like, I don't know. So my tiers are really small with the running back. So then it really just plateaus after like running back 20, in my opinion.
My next tier is a fat tier. I have a bunch of names in C, and then I have 3 guys in D tier. And I don't think Yash is going to be happy with me, but I have like I have reasons why.
But I think your process with everyone in B tier is workhorse back, good offense. In the case of Javonte, many shootouts, high scoring games because of bad defense.
And just a lot of talent.
Yeah, talent, touches, touchdowns. 3 words is how I would describe B tier.
Is there anyone else that you guys think has an argument for this? I had a hard time leaving Derrick Henry out, but just based off where he's at right now,
really low. I would argue Breece Hall.
I'll get to Breece Hall because I have Breece Hall and I have a Breece Hall in its specific tier for a specific reason, which I'll get to.
I moved Breece Hall like up 10 minutes before we started streaming to the same tier as B.
Yeah, I mean, I don't hate this list. I'm, pretty similar. I think that there's, for me, After Jacobs, Barkley, Cook, there's a bit of a tier break. I don't have Javonte Williams quite in that same tier with them. But he's in the tier below for me. It's pretty similar. I just have Jacobs, Barkley, Cook in A, and then I've got a big B tier. So I think that we're pretty similar in that regard. It's just that I don't quite have Javonte in that upper echelon, but we can keep moving.
Okay. Yeah, I can hear Javonte being lower. I've been coming more around on him. And like we were saying, workhorse back, good offense. That's kind of the philosophy with those guys I had. This is where there's just guys with a little more concern. So I had Derrick Henry first. Where is he at? But I had Kyron next. And then I had Travis Etienne, wherever he is.
I don't know about Stel Kyron.
Over Achane, I'm selling Kyron.
Oh, yeah. But I don't know. Unless someone's paying, I ain't selling. Let me put it that way, Brett. I'm like that with running backs, especially, dude. One of the guys in my league who's scoring the most right now has 4 running backs. Yes, Javonte. It's like disgusting. It's a 10-man league, but it's just disgusting.
All right. I'm just doing the next 2 tiers that I had just because I feel like they kind of go hand in hand, and I have them ranked in this way. My thought process on these is running backs with questions, but all these guys are still on good offenses. Talented running backs on bad offenses is why I tiered those differently.
I don't like this tier. I think this tier is going to get messy. Can you add another tier to this list or no?
Yeah, I can add more.
I'd like 2. You're probably going to need like 2 more. Yeah, we don't need to label them. it don't matter. I mean, unless it's like super quick.
Just do it.
All right, boom.
All right. So, what do you guys think about this? What would you guys move around? What do you guys evaluate differently here?
Sorry, go ahead.
And Ishingenti might be right here in this tier, by the way.
Do you have Derrick Henry at the top of your C tier? Or is that just kind of any particular order?
I did when I was going through it, but I could easily move him to the end.
Right.
I kind of just have him top of this just because respect King Henry. I never want to doubt you.
I want to doubt him, bro. He's so old. He's so old now. Like so old. My tier right here would be Bucky, Kyron, Quinshawn, Ashton. And then Breece Hall was in my head on B tier. So Breece Hall, I guess, would be in C as well. I think Quinshawn looks great. He's a workhorse. They have a good O-line, decent offense, good defense. I could see him just running to run the ball, to burn clock. And I have Etienne, Kenneth Walker, and J.K. Dobbins in the next tier. And then JCM, David Montgomery, Kamara, and Derrick Henry in my last tier.
I didn't even rank Kamara.
Before I get to Scatabo, Hubbard, Warren, and all the people who have really good handcuffs right now. That's what I consider all these people.
So the big difference is Scatabo, is what it seems.
Yeah,
like.
I have Scatabo really low, and I have Derrick Henry, I guess, a tier lower than you.
What's your issue with Scatabo?
Tyrone. It's just, I love Scatabo. I think Dable loves Scatabo. I think the fans love Scatabo. I think Scatabo has, 3rd round draft capital? 4th?
I think
day 3.
He's 3rd, so he's a day 2.
Oh no, he's just not going to get 27 touches, and that's what that projection means.
Are you sure?
Yes, I am.
He literally got 27 touches 2 weeks ago against the Chargers.
Yeah,
he had exactly 27 touches.
That's why I said 27 touches. He's not. With Tyrone back, he's not.
Are we sure though?
And the Giants stink. And the Giants turn the ball over. And the Giants get sacked. And the Giants throw interceptions. And their defense is great. So I love being up on Scatabo. Maybe next year he'll get 27 touches a game. Right now he'll probably get 17.
But he catches passes too. Like I still
That's
feel
the
like
17 touches.
But those are valuable touches. Like workhorse back, talented.
That's not D tier
Not on a
touches
good team.
to me.
What? Do you think Brees Hall is going to get more touches?
You
than
think
Scatabo
Scatabo and Genty are on the same tier right now?
Yes.
You're telling me you would
fantasy rest of the season?
You would
Yes.
do a trade right there. If I sent you straight up Genty for Scatabo, you would accept that.
Well, not straight up. I would want to plus.
Well, that's what the
same
tier means. You can't have them in the same tier if you wouldn't do damn near a straight up. You cannot have them in the same tier. That's disrespectful to everyone in the tier.
What I would say about that is I would never do a one-for-one trade with
I
someone.
would damn near do
tier.
Bucky to Kyron. Not really, because I don't really like Kyron's job security right now. But I don't know about ETN, but you can't put him in the same tier if you wouldn't damn near sell him either. Cam Scatabo does not have the same value as everyone else in D tier.
Here's what I have as my kind of C and D tier.
Mm-hmm.
So I've got, in my essentially my C tier is I have Bucky, Genty, Brees, Javonte, Kyren, Judkins, and Derrick Henry.
So I'm higher on Scatabo than both of you guys, is what it seems. And Dale, you're a little lower on Javonte and Henry.
Yeah, I mean, I think that Henry is still in the same tier. I mean, he's in that C tier for me.
Mm-hmm.
I think that I'm a little bit higher than you on Brees, Judkins, Genty. I think that I have all three of those guys over Travis Etienne.
Maybe switch Etienne and Brees.
Okay.
That's the only thing for me.
And then put Scatabo in D tier. My dog is having a night terror.
The only thing, I'm a little bit honestly going to side with Yosh here. I have JCM over Scatabo.
Really?
Which is probably a hot take. Dude, he just looks so good in the last game. Jaden Daniels is coming back. It's actually a good offense. I don't know. The Giants kind of suck. I know that Scatabo looks awesome. Everybody loves Scatabo. He's so fun to watch. But I don't think that you can ignore Tyrone Tracy coming back. He was essentially their workhorse last year. And I think that he's going to eat into Scatabo's touches, kind of whether you like it or not. So I just can't put somebody that I feel like is in a bad offense that may have to split touches in the future over, I don't know if I can put him over some of these other guys that are going to be in the, D tier, just for me.
That's fair. Yeah. I think you guys are both. I think the difference in valuation that I'm realizing is I think you guys just like Tyrone Tracy more than I do. I think that's the biggest.
Yeah, I just feel like he's going to get touches. I don't know, I don't think that he's somebody that you start, not at all.
Mm-hmm.
But it's it's almost like a Najee Harris and Jalen Warren type thing. It's not
you can't start Jalen Warren.
It's not really the same thing, but when they were on the same team, they weren't pretty together, know. And I'm not going to say that, Scatabo is less talented than those guys or anything. Scatabo could be more talented than Najee and Jalen Warren for sure, but it's just similar premise with a bad offense.
It's why do you not have K9 ranked in D tier?
That's what I was thinking my way through it with you, the concerns you guys have about Scatabo. It makes more sense to have him in this tier with the other names I have. So let's get to that. I had Walker, I have Demont, I have Chase Brown, I have this is no particular order. I'm just putting the guys that I know I had in this tier, and then I'll move it around. I had I don't see Dobbins on here.
What's up, Frizzle? What's up, Dylan?
I had Chuba.
Dylan valid crash out.
Frizzle with the hot takes.
Okay, where's J.K. Dobbins, bro? J.K. Dobbins is only averaging 15 points per game, bro.
No, I couldn't find his name. God
damn it.
And then I'd move this around.
Boys, bro.
Is Hampton not in your list?
He's
I didn't rank him just because of the injury, but
I didn't rank him either.
Yeah, I just wasn't sure where he fits in because I don't really know the extent of how much time he's gonna miss. So
Just put him in now.
That's fair.
yeah. But I think this is it. I think maybe you could put like Swift, Henderson, Pollard. These are kind of the other guys that may be in consideration for this tier.
I
But-
think that I had Kamara. in there
Kamara?
somewhere.
Oh yeah, I forgot to rank Kamara, but Kamara's probably in this tier too.
Yeah,
Chuba,
that's kind of where I
Rico,
threw him.
Jalen, Kenneth, Gainwell. That's
Probably
where
put
I-
Kamara like
Oh, not in E tier.
Do you have Jordan Mason up there?
I didn't rank Jordan Mason. I ranked him with all my bummies.
Okay.
Where's Jordan Mason?
He might not be on there. We can talk about him though.
Oh, he's right here.
Okay.
And then I could do like Nick Chubb, Woody Marks, maybe.
No, Frizzle.
Let's not even talk about those guys.
Yeah. Well, this is
Um,
just kind of where it gets ugly. Like these are all split backfield guys, or in like Chase Brown, Kamara's case, they don't really split touches, but they're rushing really inefficiently, and their offenses just like aren't showing very much commitment to running the ball, and both these offenses are pretty bad. Yeah.
I would say if you have your RB1 as a player who's an E or F tier, you're cooked. You need to make a trade right now. That's like maybe like a mid to high upside RB2.
Mhm.
D tier, look to upgrade. Don't panic. That would be great if you had a guy in D tier, C tier as your RB2, and RB1 should probably be S to B tier. And anyone in B tier I could see jumping up to S.
I don't see Javonte Williams jumping up to S.
Dude, he already is. Dude, purely based off of points, he already is.
I mean, yeah, it's just one of those early season,
It's 'cause
high
CD's out.
flyers.
To be honest, it's probably because CD's out, more touchdowns go around.
Yeah, generally I don't hate this list though. Kind of in my bottom tier. I'll just talk about some of the guys that I had there, but for me it was like I ranked Hampton in there. He's gonna miss some time, but I think he'll still be valuable when he comes
In this
back.
E tier.
I think I had him like in my D/E tier. It was C
Like
for me,
right
but I had
there?
really big rankings. Yeah,
If you-
somewhere kind of in there.
If he was playing, if like say he didn't get hurt last week, where would you guys put him?
Like he's
I would
in
probably put
top
him
of
here.
top of C or low B, I would say. Yeah.
Like right
Um,
above Reese, I think would be fair. Like right below Bucky. I mean, I feel like that's just like disrespectful to Bucky and Kyron if you ranked him above him. Like,
He was getting workhorse touches,
Yeah, I mean for me the kind of
and he was getting receiving game stuff too, which is nice.
I know he looked good.
the lower echelon guys that are still in my top 24. I mean, we've got more than 24 people here, but
Yeah,
I had Travis kind of in that C tier for me. It's a big tier, but
ETN.
all in the same tier. Yeah, I had Travis Etienne, Kenneth Walker, JCM, Scatabo, Dobbins, Jordan Mason, Kamara. Kind of my honorable mentions were like Chase Brown, like Jalen Warren, Trevion Henderson, maybe DeAndre Swift. But
I could be talked into lowering Chuba into this tier, to be honest.
he scares me. I think that he moves around.
like
You
these
moved him
guys.
down, you moved Jalen down for the same reason. I mean,
Jalen
Kenneth-
Warren.
Yeah, Kenneth Gainwell looked great.
Dude,
Unironically, bro, you look good. Unironically.
No, I'm way more. I think Jalen Warren's still gonna get his, and Jalen Warren's still gonna he's not gonna lose his receiving game
I mean,
work.
Arthur Smith's a psychopath, bro.
Yeah, but I'm Chuba and Rico are like very similar backs, like Chuba, what's the thing that Chuba does for Jalen Warren, right? It says he's receiving
He's
back,
an all-around
right?
guy, honestly.
Yeah, he can do it all. I'm not worried about Jalen Warren getting losing.
I love how
the
people just
fantasy
forgot
production
about
if
Caleb
he does.
Johnston. I love how quickly people just
Bro.
just over it.
he had every opportunity in the world after that fumble and the touchdown. Bro, what are you doing?
So funny.
Yeah, so bad.
Yeah, that guy's done for.
Shout out Jalen Warren, I guess. All right, receivers. Any questions about the list, people?
Yeah, we'll get to receivers. Definitely. I think the biggest disagreement was for sure Scatabo and Javonte are kind of like the hot names. I think we all kind of view a lot of these guys pretty similarly.
I think that for me, Breece Hall could jump around too. Like I could see Breece Hall climbing into that B tier. You know, I think that he's kind of a riser right now. Just with how he's been playing, I think C is fine, but I could see him going up for sure.
Yeah. With him, it's just the offensive concerns for me, but
yeah,
if he keeps getting the receiving game stuff, it's not going to matter too much.
Right.
Yeah. All right. So let's get to wide receivers. I think we all know who our wide receiver one is. It's got to be Puka. Like, I have him in his own tier.
Yeah, make an S+ tier.
Let's do this. Let's make it.
Yeah, just make your Puka tier, bro. The Pookie Bear tier. Pookie.
Yeah, we got the Puka tier.
And you gotta flip your A and S there.
He deserves, honestly.
Oh, yeah. How did that happen?
You just gotta, there you
go. To answer any questions,
I had Amon-Ra, I had JSN, and I had C Lamb, just assuming he's either going to be back this week or next week.
Yeah.
Where are you guys at on that? That's all I have in this tier. Is there anyone else you guys are?
No, I think.
No, I don't think so. I didn't have JSN in that tier for me yet. I think that he can get into there, but for me, it was Puka on his own. Amon-Ra, CD consisted of S tier just for me.
Get this. I could get behind that too.
That's how I have it, too.
Okay.
If I have it, just straight up, it's Puka, JT, CMC, Amon-Ra, CD, Bijan, Gibbs, JSN. So it's like a small tier decrease for JSN. Not big.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah, I can break into Rome and Garrett Wilson.
So I have in my A tier, I have Jefferson, I have Emeka Egbuka, I have Jamar Chase, I have Garrett Wilson, and I have Rome Odunze. Where's Rome? Where's Rome?
Well, just to comment on this tier, I'm stupid, and I have Jamar and JJ as my receiver 9 and 10. So I will leave at that.
Yeah, I don't hate this tier. For me, A tier was JSN, Rome, Jefferson, Chase, and then kind of Egbuka and Wilson were at the top of B for me. But I don't, obviously it's hard to deny Egbuka with how good he's been. He's looking like I
could see it pushing to here.
He's looking like rookie Justin Jefferson, though. I mean, he's looked really damn good.
His first 5 games of his career are the third most fantasy points anyone's ever scored to start their career.
That's pretty ridiculous. Yeah.
Only behind Puka and Randy Moss.
Yeah, that's pretty insane. The thing for me with Egbuka is I don't know if I see him ending as a top 5 wide receiver at the end of the season. Like, I think Mike Evans is going to come back. He's going to get targets. Chris Godwin didn't get a bunch last week, but he's going to be getting targets as well. Like, I think that offense it's not going to be, quite as evenly distributed as the Chargers, but that's what it kind of feels like, right? You've got a really good quarterback that loves throwing the ball and, 3 very competent wide receivers that are going to, be kind of battling for receptions. I'm not going to act like Egbuka isn't the wide receiver 1 there, but do I think that he's going to get the same kind of target share as like Puka or CD? I don't quite think so. Or even Justin Jefferson or Jamar Chase, like he's not going to draw that same kind of target share for me once that team is healthy. But right now, like these weeks where you don't have Mike Evans, I think he's there for sure.
I disagree. And my projection for Egbuka is I want to project Egbuka out the same way we were projecting Chris Godwin last year when he was receiver 1 and dropping 20 points per game every game for the first 7 weeks. Yeah, that was fun. I remember trading for him. Why do I think this? Egbuka is playing in the slot. Baker's throwing to him in the slot. We love investing in our young players. We love easing our old man coming off of literally like a snapped leg. Godwin is actually playing 70% of his snaps outside the slot. I think this is Ibuka taking on the 2024 Godwin role in this offense. I think he's going to smash.
Yeah, I'm just really in on the talent. I could be talked to kind of put him behind these guys I have in A tier, but I think I would still – I just view him closer to these guys than I do anyone else in B tier is kind of my thinking behind it.
I have him ahead of Jamar and JJ on my rankings. I also have Rome above them.
That's fair.
I think that we're pretty close, though. Like
being behind all of them. I think they're all in the same tier, though, yeah. I like it.
Yeah, I'm not going to argue. I don't have any, nobody is 2 tiers away here or anything for me. Like, all of these guys are great wide receivers that you want in your team. Yeah.
Okay.
Let's keep it rolling. I don't think anyone's tripping over those players. I think we all know they're good.
All right. So I had Nico.
Frizzle, man.
I
mostly view it for like trade tiers.
London.
It's like you don't really want to trade for a guy in the same tier.
Yeah. I have Waddle. I have Adams, wherever he is.
Ray McLeod. Bro.
I have Debo, and I have BTJ.
I have BTJ as like my receiver 30.
This does feel early for BTJ.
I have him as receiver 30, bro. He's averaging 9 points a game, and he's getting like 6 targets a game, bro. If you have him that early, you better put Chris Olave up there too. I'm not even joking. If you have Brian Thomas Jr. this early, you better put Chris Olave like right next to him.
So you have Brian Thomas Jr. over Rashi.
That's the thing. I think I'm sleeping on Rashi. I think he's my next name.
I think we're too awake on Brian Thomas Jr., bro. Like, why are we not talking about this more?
No, I mean, I don't think Brian Thomas is not in that tier for me. I think that he's a tier below.
Okay.
Other than that, I would agree with it. My B tier was Nico Collins, Ibuka, Garrett Wilson, Rashi Rice, Drake London. Similar names, and then I've got the rest of those guys 1 tier down. But I'm
Waddle, Debo.
I could hear Pickens also. Pickens is probably over BTJ, to be honest.
I ranked QJ and Sutton up here
in B
before Rashid. Probably a tier break, TBH. I have them below Debo. Yeah, there's a tier break. So I have Sutton, Adams, Johnston, Diggs, Collins, Pickens, Zay, Evans, Pitt. This is like a big tier for me. Pittman,
you guys see QJ?
He's probably not even on there. To be honest, bro, they probably did not put him on there.
I don't think he is.
Use Malik Neighbors for him. Bang.
Okay. Pretend Malik Neighbors is QJ.
First round pick.
Here, can I add an image?
You definitely can.
Yeah, 1 second. 1 second, boys.
But while you're doing that, I have a huge tier after Debo, and I think they're all basically the same guys. I have Nico in this tier. You guys have him a tier above. I see why. I don't hate it. But yeah, Sutton, Adams, Johnston, Diggs, Pickens, Zay, Evans, Pittman, Keenan, Worthy. These are all guys to me who are going to get you 6 to 8 targets a game. They are all going to get you there to like 12 points without a touchdown, but they all have really high touchdown upside in their own offense because I think all of them are the receiver 1 in their offense with not very many other options. So I kind of view all of them the same. I think in fantasy, they're also all performing around the same right now too. I just think if you're trading like Zay Flowers plus for Keenan Allen, you're kind of just losing your plus. You're not really moving up or doing anything.
Yeah, I think that's a fair take.
That's why I just have like this fat tier of it's literally 12 players. It goes from like receiver 12 to a tier of 12 players and then the next tier for me.
Right. Yeah, no, my next tier is pretty big as well. Atlanta says he wants Pickens to be. Tyler says, someone sent me Rice and Monty for Adams and Marks, and I accepted. Some people want to veto, but I feel like it's pretty fair, no? I mean, I like Rice more than Adams, and I like Monty more than Marks. But, like,
Just hate to see a brother
Fight for
win
your
it,
rights, man. Fight for your rights.
dictatorship.
Treylon Burks. We were talking about Treylon Burks the other day. Treylon Burks was at one point a first round rookie draft pick.
I also aggressively ranked Ricky. He's in like the next tier with DK and Rashi. I have Rasheed below Worthy right now. You also aren't showing your tier list right now, but
I know I'm trying to get Quentin Johnson.
Just fixing it up.
Just what we're talking about it.
Got it.
I agree with you, Atlanta.
Rasheed.
There we go. Let's go.
I love that for the go.
Let me ask you guys this about Quentin Johnson, though. I know we've been big fans of his the last couple weeks, and we've really been hyping him up. Are we worried about the Chargers' offensive line concerns affecting QJ more so than the other Chargers wide receivers?
I think that's a very sharp take, and I think that is something to be worried about because QJ is more of a deep threat where you have McConkey and Keenan who are more like rowdy. They're more like rowdy receivers.
Yeah.
But I did research and I do know that the Chargers are trying to throw it out to Quentin Johnston just in open space so he can do more after the catch because he's just a big boy. So maybe, they have a good coaching staff. I wouldn't be surprised if he can just route some stuff up.
Yeah.
I wasn't super concerned about it. I feel like I definitely get where you guys are coming from with that. But this is their second week without Joe Alt, right? And the first week without him, I think QJ did all right. I think for me, it's just that I feel like
being a little more boom bust is kind of my biggest concern.
I think that all three of those guys are a little bit more boom bust. Like, I think Ladd's a little more boom. Ladd's already been boom bust, but like Ladd feels like boom bust. QJ feels kind of boom bust. Keenan feels a little boom bust. Like, I know we've only had one bad week from QJ, but I think that any of those three guys can give you 20 points on.
But they can also give you 9.
Just about any given week. Right. Exactly. But like one of them can give you like 6 points, right? Like,
but it wouldn't even be like a bad line. It would be like 8 targets, 4 receptions, and 50 yards. And you wouldn't even like be able to be mad at that. They probably hit their over too.
Right. Like, yeah, it's just that any of those three guys can produce, and it's hard to really put any of them like leagues ahead of another. I still feel like QJ is kind of,
separated.
Yeah, I think that QJ is a little bit better than the other two, but I could see them, I could see it going anyway. Probably not Keenan being the best out of the three, but it's here or there. Like all three of those guys are pretty solid.
Yeah, set them down too, right? Let's just load this tier up. I'll rapid fire some names if you want.
Yeah,
right, we're just skipping D tier, bro. Where's Devontae Adams, Diggs? Where are these dogs?
Devontae Adams is B tier.
He's up there.
I don't know if Diggs is listed on here. Diggs is another interesting one, and how bullish we are on him.
I think Flowers.
Say Flowers, Evans,
NC.
I
think.
Yeah, he was kind of at the bottom of my C tier. I really did have I only had an S plus, an S, a A, a B, and a C tier.
I'm gonna just put a bunch of names up.
People.
You guys let me know what you disagree with.
I have
Worthy in this tier, by the way. I forgot about him.
You know how I feel about the Chiefs receivers.
I have
Devontae Smith and AJ Brown ranked right next to each other. I like cheated.
I don't know about Ricky.
I have Ricky high. I think Ricky's going to be good for 15 plus.
1 second.
I'm high on sticky Ricky. I like Higgins and D. You probably need to add another tier in. TBH. I'm still standing on my BTJ stuff. I don't even know where he is on this tier list anymore.
He's next to QJ.
It makes no sense to me. I just don't get the argument for it. It makes no sense to me how we can apply that argument to BTJ and not apply it to a Chris Olave.
I just think that
like
he went for 1,200 yards his rookie year. It's just like hard to deny.
And
those
Olave's
numbers.
been doing this with a crappy team his whole career, and it's like his 4th year in the league.
I need to look at Olave's career
And
stats.
Olave is OSU process too. Let's not forget that. Okay. He's a receiver U process too. Like
Okay,
I
okay.
can't with this like disrespect to him. And like I like Brian Thomas Jr. I think he's a great player. He's not getting 10 targets a game. Chris Olave is getting 10 targets a game. He has minimal touchdown upside. Their offense is just too spread out right now. It's not concentrated. Like, yeah, the Saints aren't a winning team right now, but they have decent quarterback play. And they're feeding Chris Olave. I was about to send a screenshot today of empty stats comparing Chris Olave to Tet. That was who I was going to compare him to because I have Chris Olave next to Tet in my rankings.
Yeah.
So we're
I
talking
think we're way too. I think we're way too high on BTJ, and I have him, Tet, and Chris Olave all ranked right next to each other.
With BTJ, I think we're getting a little crazy on.
I don't think we're getting crazy at all.
So you don't see BTJ improving throughout the course of the season?
I think he can improve to be a good receiver throughout the course of the season. I don't think he's going to average 9 points per game. But I don't think he's going to average 17. I don't think he's going to be a first-round pick. I don't think he's going to be better than anyone in C tier.
I think with BTJ, we're forgetting that this guy's a top 15 NFL draft pick talent at wide receiver who showed why he went there all his rookie season. Got off to a rough start this year, but his targets volume's still been there. He's been running cold on touchdowns. Like he hasn't scored. He scored once week 1 on a rush attempt, but he hasn't got a receiving touchdown yet. And I don't think that's going to stay the case over the course of the season.
I can apply this entire line of logic to Chris Olave. He's averaging 11 targets a game, damn near. I am not mathing this right now.
The big difference though is just the talent, bro. Like Chris Olave can't hold Brian Thomas's jock strap.
That's crazy. That's a crazy statement. No, that's crazy.
Really not though.
Chris Olave, bro.
It's really Brian Thomas at his peak in this offseason was being valued as like a top 7 dynasty wide receiver. Chris Olave's never been a dynasty wide receiver one.
System that's not the Saints, and we're probably having crazier conversations about his talent. You guys just like to forget about Chris Olave's talent because the only clips you ever see about him is his head in the dirt and him getting like a concussion from literally getting like blown up by a defender. I hate the Chris Olave narrative. Him being in the 6th round this year in redraft was disrespectful as hell.
I mean, dude, Chris Olave's like peak
the wide receiver 24 and outperforming Brian Thomas Jr.
Dude, if you're starting Chris Olave this year, though, like you're not happy about it. His peak performance is 15 points per game. Like he's a
high floor player. That's everyone in D tier. What are we talking about?
Brian Thomas is a ceiling guy. Like you look at what Brian Thomas is doing last year.
And he hasn't hit that ceiling at all.
It's just so far.
Yeah, I'm still not.
You're probably starting Brian Thomas Jr. as receiver 1. I don't want to hear it, Ben. But I'm just very low on Brian Thomas Jr. rest of the season. I think you can wow all you want about Brian Thomas Jr. being a great player in college, which he was, being a great player last year, which he was, being a stud talent. The scheme's not there. It's not there.
Is it not though? Like the Jacks are 4-1, and he's been getting fed targets.
Yeah, they're 4-1. They're a winning team. That doesn't mean they have to feed him 10 targets a game. They don't have to. They haven't, and they're winning without doing that. Why would they change that?
Who else is taking targets from him?
I don't know. The same people for the first I got you.
Especially now that Strange is
for
down.
The first 5 weeks. I don't know. I'm just not behind the C ranking right now with what he's done, but that's just me. And I don't like the process you're applying to him and refusing to put to Olave. Like you're not putting Olave in D or C right now.
I mean, one's playing with Trevor Lawrence, who can actually like stretch the ball downfield. I'm not even huge on Trevor Lawrence, but I don't think he's even in the same ballpark as like Spencer Rattler.
Yeah.
And then I know you're gonna put Tet above Chris Olave too. I know you're gonna do that too. And it's like the same process is gonna get applied to Tet. Oh, he's a great player. The volume's there. He's running cold on touchdowns, but it'll get better. You can say everything. The offense is bad in the Panthers, but they're getting there. How can you not apply that to Chris Olave?
Chris Olave is his like 4th year in the league, and Tet's a rookie, and he's outperforming him. He was drafted in 2022, so this is his 4th year.
Is it his 4th or 3rd? Can I not math?
This is his 4th season. It feels like he's already got better numbers than him this year, and he's a rookie, and he hasn't really been getting any touchdowns. You can say the same thing about Chris Olave. I think you're just high on Chris Olave.
I think you guys are just stupidly high on Tet and Brian Thomas Jr. Like they're just not. It's okay for a player to not perform well for a year. Like it's okay for a rookie to have 900 yards and 5 touchdowns in a year and still be a good player year 2. I'm not saying these are bad players. I just don't see them getting there.
I just think Brian Thomas, like, at the end of the day, talent wins out. And I think we're getting, like, dude, with your rankings, you're saying
we'll see with how these rankings shape out, but I think we should move
on. What I was going to say is that Brian Thomas is going in the, end of the 1st round in Underdog this year in, all fantasy drafts.
Yeah, and Marv went at the end of the 1st round last year. Like we can go in circles just to
No. Listen, let me finish my thought here. What I was saying is that if you're with the way you're ranking him in the Chris Olave tier, you're saying that's worth like a 9th, 10th round pick if we were to redraft.
I have him ranked behind Derrick Henry directly with Marv, AJ Brown, Devontae Smith, Chris Olave, and Ted. That's a tier for me.
Okay, so the big issue is just you're stupidly high on Chris Olave compared to us. It's not even about the BTJ.
No, it's just a tier of all these players are just boom or bust, and they all have fake volume. That's my tier. They all have fake opportunity, and it's just they're getting 10 targets a game. Are they getting 15 fantasy points a game? No, that's why I have them in a tier together. I would throw Ladd in that tier too, but I didn't even rank Ladd. I have Ricky above Ladd, if that means anything.
So what do we need to move around here with what we have for this?
I would rank real talk. I would rank Ricky in D, and I would probably take AJ Brown and move him to the bottom of D. I don't think AJ Brown can be at the top of D. Am I crazy for that?
What about Devonta Smith?
I've got AJ Brown over DK Metcalf.
Yeah, I like that. That's not bad.
I think I got AJ Brown over Ladd still.
I've got Marv over DK Metcalf rest of season. I don't know. Am I the only one that kind of hates DK Metcalf right now?
I kind of like him.
I kind of like DK, honestly. I think
I have DK, Ricky, and Rasheed in a tier.
And he's the only.
I have very small tiers, by the way, for certain players. There's that big tier that I have for everyone who I think is just going to get you to 12 without a touchdown and all have touchdown upside.
Mm-hmm.
And then I have just the receiver one in that offense, but you're just a little unsure. So that's my DK, Ricky, Rasheed.
I guess my thing with DK is that he hasn't had more than 5 receptions throughout this year.
I'm worried about the volume.
I'm worried about the volume, and he's also running a little bit touchdown hot. His first 3 weeks, he didn't drop more than 12 points, and he had 2 touchdowns. He was going to drop 6 points and 5 points, but he, got saved by a couple touchdowns. And then, he gets the big catches this week, but it just doesn't really feel like the volume's there. I don't know if I love Aaron Rodgers right now. Obviously he's the best wide receiver in that offense, but I just, I feel like he's never been a big volume guy. Even when he was on the Seahawks, he's kind of
boom
that.
Bust.
It's how people perceive him versus how he actually did. I feel like people always perceive DK as a round 3 guy, then he always performs a round 6 guy every year.
It's because
actual
he's
thing.
A specimen. He's just a beast. But
I think it's fair to
value versus performance.
What's the difference though between AJ Brown and DK Metcalf right now? I view them very similarly.
AJ Brown's in a better offense.
Is it though?
I hate
Like,
the
for
narratives
pass
about
volume?
AJ Brown right now, and
Dude, he's
the
been
OC.
bad.
There's like a lot of stuff going on with AJ Brown and the Eagles OC and their passing game that I don't like. But then you have Devontae Smith just being a dog, so that's why it's like really hard for me to have a strong opinion about AJ Brown now. Like diva, yeah, I want him to get the targets, but he literally just wasn't running last game. Like it's so
Yeah,
hard to look past
exactly.
the
That's why
narrative.
it's
Like I hate following like media narratives. Sometimes they're right. Devontae Smith, stronghold in Dynasty right now.
I don't love either of those wide receivers, if I'm being honest. It just feels really inconsistent.
I mean, I'm not saying Devontae Smith going to crush this year. Maybe next year.
Yeah, I don't know. It's interesting. I guess the main difference between AJ Brown and DK Metcalf for me is that AJ Brown is going to be in the red zone more than DK Metcalf will be. He's, kind of notorious for complaining about how many targets he gets and, kind of babying and, getting mad at the team if he's not getting his reps in or whatever. So that's kind of the thing for me with AJ Brown. Aaron Rodgers is not the Aaron Rodgers of old. So that's just where I'm at. But generally I like this tier.
I think you could just reorganize it.
See you later, ATL. Thanks for hopping in, dude.
Yep, later, ATL.
I'll see you, ATL.
What is Bob saying?
I'm watching a nut show. I don't even know what it means.
What?
I would prefer DK Metcalf over Christian Kirk, by the way, to answer that question really quick, and I think that's not even close.
I think the big takeaway that I'm having just off these conversations is once you get past C tier,
it's no man's land.
It's pick a guy you like and hope he smashes that week. They're all kind of boom bust. They're all like, well, I hope he catches a touchdown this week. You're kind of just, there's a lot
I want to make like another tier, like take T. Higgins out of this tier. Honestly, take AJ Brown and Devontae Smith out of the tier.
I think that what we should do after this
is
in the Discord, let's make all of our own rankings for each of these, and then we'll send them.
Terry in, put Mike Evans in, and put DJ Moore in, and put
here
Chris Olave in, just on there somewhere. Just put them somewhere. These are like the last players I feel like that have any relevancy to start a lineup. And Jacoby, and put Jacoby.
We want to do Juwan too?
No, I don't even want to touch him right now. I'm projecting Ricky as receiver 1 SF, by the way, guys. Hot take.
No, I don't think that's a hot take.
I don't think so either.
Some people,
But I do think that Juwan could still be a viable flex play when he comes back.
How would I separate these tiers? I would move Pittman up to the top of D with Mike Evans, low key. Or like next to Zay. I think they're all comparable.
Yeah, I think Mike Evans, when he comes back, you can even probably more just the injury.
I mean, you heard my tier of Marv, AJ Brown, Smith, Olave, Tet. So I would personally move Marv below DK, Diggs, and next to Tet and Ricky and McLaurin. And honestly, I would drop McLaurin another tier maybe until we see something, just because of like the whole offseason not playing. I think that needs to be added to people's process. When players have contract disputes and they hold out and they don't play, that impacts their start of the season. I swear it happens every year, and it's so real.
Yeah.
Like Terry McLaurin is such a better player. Like he's not that washed, and he just hasn't started up. So I could easily see him climbing to DC.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
Maybe I think that if Terry climbs to DC, then Debo is gonna go down now. Yeah,
I could see them both in C in like 2 weeks.
Yeah,
maybe.
But Debo looks good.
Yeah, I mean, generally, I feel like this feels pretty good. You thinking about it a little bit.
Devontae Smith, if you want, depending on how you feel about the Eagles.
AJ Brown, Devontae Smith, yeah. I think that this feels pretty good.
Glad if you're opinionated.
Mm-hmm.
But I like everything else. And Chris Olave,
I do think that Chris Olave is, I think that you can make the argument for sure
You
that
guys
Chris
know how I
Olave
feel.
belongs in D tier. Does he belong in C tier? I don't think so, but I think that
I
you can
don't
make
think
the
Brian
argument.
Thomas does, but that's just the way the cookie crumbles. It's just recency
Yeah.
bias. You want to bet on talent sometimes. I get it. I had this talk with Ant last night, a little bit, but
It's just one of those high upside guys, right? It's like the same thing
Yeah.
with Marv, with Tet, with
The way, if I can buy Brian Thomas at that like D tier price, I'm doing it. That's kind of why I
I
rank
think a lot of people would sell him at that. It just depends on who you ask. Like I know, like Ben wants to say, like I'm not a ball nowhere, right? But it's week 5, it's week 6. Like if you've been starting Brian Thomas Jr. every week, I don't know if you have a winning record. Like if you go on ESPN, I bet it says bust like 4 times next to his name. Like, like we had a conversation like, oh, J.K. Dobbins versus R.J. Harvey and underdog. Like, R.J. Harvey might overtake him like week 9, but like I would have already gotten my 60 points out of J.K. Dobbins by then. When a player's suspended for half the year, you draft him in the 10th round. You don't draft him in the 4th, So that's how I like to view it. It's a different take from a lot of people, but that's how I view it.
Yeah.
All right. I think that's pretty much it for wide receivers. We spent a lot of time on wide
Well,
receivers.
receivers are spicy, bro. They're like,
Yeah.
running backs
You
are
guys-
easy.
Do you guys want to
tight
do
end.
tight end and we can just kind of go through this real quickly?
Sure.
Yeah.
So I think with tight ends, the way I had it is I have wherever he is, I have Trey McBride in a tier of his own. And then I had Warren. I had
Bob Hope.
Jake Ferg.
Appreciate you, Bob.
What'd Bob say?
Bob Hope is like shipping me an Ant right now. I love it. Bob Hope, are you gonna donate to charity? Sound like what Bob Hope's known for? Are you gonna donate me? Like, can you spare a band, bro?
Is Bob Hope a real person?
Yes. Bob Hope is like Unk, bro.
Oh my gosh, he lived till he was 100. This guy's the reincarnation of Bob Hope.
All right, so I had Trey McBride, tier 1. Tier 2, I had Warren, Ferg, Kittle.
Yep.
Yeah,
That's
exactly the same. I have it.
I think I'm also
Verbatim.
exactly the same.
Next, I have
Oh, I had I had Bowers in A, but if you want to,
Bowers is top B for me right now,
Okay.
just because of these rest of season concerns.
Yeah.
And then I'm just putting all the names of the guys that are fantasy liable. Then we can kind of move them around. You'll see. Oh,
I'll just tell you all the names I have. No
I
particular
think
order.
I'm moving Kincaid down
Order.
from this group. Okay, Andrews.
Njoku, Pitts.
Henry, Mason Taylor. I think this is kind of how I would do it. Yeah, I think that's where I'm at. What do you guys think? Any names? I guess we put TJ Hawkins in here too.
I think I had Kraft in my B tier.
Oh, Kraft. Yeah, I forgot about him. Where is he?
It's on the bottom.
Yeah, I could put Kraft like here. I think that's good.
Generally I like it. I think that I had Kincaid in that B tier kind of with those other guys, but I'm a dynasty Kincaid owner. I've got him in a couple leagues. I'm probably a little bit higher on Kincaid than most. I think the argument there for me is just that I don't love the Bills wide receivers. Feels like Kincaid should have all the opportunities in the world.
I ranked him aggressively.
He's been doing better this year than he did last year. Young tight end, playing with Josh Allen. Feel like there's a decent amount of upside for him. So I'm a little high on Kincaid, but I understand if you have him in that C tier.
Yeah, with Kincaid, I think Yosh and Dale, I think it might have been before you joined stream, but we were talking about his snap count, and that's I think my biggest concern is just that he's playing like half the snaps, which is obviously not ideal for someone you're starting at tight end.
Right.
You just want them on the field a little more.
Yeah. No, that makes sense. It's Dawson Knox still getting snaps, right?
Yeah, they're still splitting.
Yeah.
I
Just
would
need
move
that
Mason
dude to,
Taylor ahead of Mark Andrews, and I would add Njoku, Strange, Theo Johnson, and Harold Fannin Jr. to D tier. With
Strange.
no, to D.
Strange is on IR, so Strange
Oh,
is
he's
like
dead.
think I
Damn,
had-
really? When did I miss that?
he got hurt on Monday.
I'd put Njoku. I'd put
had
Hawkinson
Pitts in
and
there.
Andrews in D.
I think they're kind of in these lump of guys. I could see I think Hawkins is like kind of the end of here. I think
I
he's a
separated
massive
Mason
bust for
Taylor
where
in
he's
my
being
rankings.
drafted.
I had Mason Taylor ranked with Tucker Kraft in mine, with Darren Waller like right behind them.
Oh yeah, we have Waller too. I don't know if he's on here, but I think Waller can kind of be looped into these guys for sure.
Yeah.
All right.
And what is the process with these guys? Let's go over everyone. Like, I feel like S&A, I mean, you can read numbers, big points, big output, good offenses, good touchdowns, except for Trey. Trey is just a volume beast.
B and C are pretty similar. I have the guys in B a little higher just because I think their weekly ceiling's a little higher than the guys in C.
I think that's fair. Do you not have Pitts in here anywhere?
Oh yeah, Pitts.
I would put Pitts in with C.
These guys too, yeah.
I would put
I think that
Mason
maybe like
Taylor.
even Ertz,
Pitts.
like
Ertz, yeah, Evan Ingram.
I had a lot of players in my rankings. I had Pitts, Loveland, Hawkinson, Henry, Theo Johnson.
Loveland can't touch my rankings until he actually starts getting some work.
Yeah,
Yeah, I am picking him up though if he's sitting in free agency. I'll tell you that. We talked about that a bit on the show yesterday, but I can see him smashing.
Yeah, it's a nice tight end role.
I can see him easily being one of these C tier guys if he just flashes a little bit.
I feel like people probably don't have crazy tight end questions. I want to answer these two we just got while they're fresh, if you guys want.
Yeah, I think that's probably going to wrap up the rankings. I got to get out of here shortly, but we can get to a couple questions in the chat real quick. Thank you guys for all that are
those
tuning in.
rankings, right, Ant?
Yeah, we will. We'll be posting them in the Discord, which make sure to join the Discord if you haven't already. I'll drop the link right now, but it's completely free to join. It's a fun time. We just talk ball and send pick'em slips, you name it, talk sports betting, everything NFL. Free to join. Definitely recommend joining. And then